All right, we're live, and once again, I am going to make a video of me playing uh some Daybreak because I love Daybreak. This is for a guy called Font. Sorry, blah. This is a guy called. This is for a guy called Luke Hector, who's having a lot of trouble with. So just go through my process of playing a game of the solo on BGA, um, and the choices are why I make them, and why I think there's no bad hands in this game. So this is our original setup. The solo is really quite forgiving because they give you lots of different types of things. Our choice for the first global project, these are both excellent choices. One, that they let you basically, as a solo player, just ignore one of these type of things. So last time I had a lot of environmental protection. Actually early on, pink cards, then brown cards. So I'm going to pick the multi insurance pool as the one I'm going to go for because pink cards are really good. Now, our upcoming crisis card also requires pink. It's the global financial crisis. That is a really bad card, but spending two to lose to keep one isn't worth it. So we're going to let that hit us. So let's have a look at what we've got. Small scale onshore wind. That's a good card, except it requires that extra grid symbol, which is a problem. We want to get into wind or solar really quickly, and we have a lovely symbol goal here. So we're really trying to get that extra grid symbol because also that doesn't require card feeding. So that's excellent. So what I think we might do first of all is look for ways to get more cards. Buffer zones is a great card. It's cheaper than dirty energy phase out. So that's actually a no-brainer. We can put that there and just immediately carve down some of that. But then I'm going to look around and go, okay, how do I get some more cards? Well, this is a good way to draw cards, but we often need that for other things. We don't have any more of those symbols, whatever that symbol's called, the plug. So what I think I'm going to do, probably, I do like efficient of ocean setting. Well, I've got a couple of draw extra cards. So what I'm going to do is feed the environmental movement into clean R&D. Oh, look at these wonderful cards I've got. Another solar symbol. It is a lovely trade one, and it only requires one grid. But it doesn't scale by the number of symbols you have, so I still think that's better. We did get a grid symbol, and it's a really good grid symbol though. On the other hand, being able to make enough power is a really good thing to consider. Generally, there are lots of terrains you're going to fight in. You don't want to be losing too much power because there are so many other things going wrong. You want to basically try to keep up on your power. So one thing I generally like to do as early as I can is get a solid power source coming in. So in this case, even though I really like Peatland Rewetting, that is such a good card, I'm going to follow my instincts. This is also a good card too, just dropping your population. Like, that's just much better than producing electricity. But this ability to get 2 electricity a turn when my population grows 2 electricity a turn, that means that problem is solved, and that's just so good, right? If I put that there, and then I put this on top of it, put this on top of it, I have now got a free source of 2 power every turn. And my population goes up by 2. So I've completely solved energy needs, which is excellent. Now, what else do we need? We also want to build resilience. The great thing about the solo game, though, is you're probably, if you're doing it right, we're now producing 18 bad energy and we're sucking up 10. 8 is not enough to go up to two levels. And that's because I ran buffer zones twice. I could put this behind there and run buffer zones again. Again, that is a really good card to get. I'm also thinking about whether I have a coin. I do have a coin, and that would be a nice thing to tuck under there. Getting rid of cars, though, is pretty good. We might not get that disaster, and we definitely want to get rid of cars. I think, even though that is a really good way to get an extra card, I think just buffer zones is so good that I'm just going to put it there and run that. Now, I am slightly under power, but this point, I'm okay with that. I'll probably get another wind symbol or something next turn. I'm going to. Now this is an interesting choice. I could put efficient ocean shipping on top of clean energy R&D and run that. Generally, if this is a race game, the lower your carbon gets, the better. But I might not get any good cards next turn, and I want to keep some way to get new cards. If I get grid, I can run that. If I get some bad cards, I can run that and replace them. And I might really want to tuck something. So as much as I do want to get rid of cars, and maybe I can maybe skip one turn of that and just see what happens. You've got to keep your options open. So I'm going to end turn there. So I'm producing three bad energy. One energy demand. Now that's okay because it's not going to tip me over. 14 bad emissions. Emissions are always the hardest ones to remove because then it involves changing our whole lifestyle. But we were only 7 over. So we only get one level. That's one die of the roll of the die. We had a good roll. That's going to take effect. And this is what I mean by saying that you don't have to have too much resilience early on in the solo game because you don't have any gaps. You have one of each, and you're almost certainly going to pull your output down below 20, which means given that 10 is sucked up, you're only going to have one band. So you're just fine. So it's not worth spending points on resilience in your first round. So infrastructure meltdown has no effect. Sea level rise. This will take effect, and we didn't get the pool off, so we're going to lose a card. No, we're going to lose the resilience. Okay, so now we've got a gap. We have to do something. So we're looking. Luckily, we've got the insurance pool ready to go, which is nice. So round 2. Our battles. We've got a little bit more black energy we want to get rid of. We've got 3 energy we need to produce, and we're only producing 2. We've got scale on solar, unfortunately, instead of wind. So pick one early on the solar game. I've picked wind. We're not going for that. Tax haven regulations is an incredible card. Early in the game, I almost always take it, and I try to get it up because it's a great combo for pretty much everything. So let's look at our cards. So we have a way here to get rid of bad energy. Doesn't matter. We've got buffer zones. So that's what I mean by having this great. Excellent. It's got a symbol on it. It's a card we don't need, and it's got a symbol we don't need. Sweet. It's going on tax regulation. Amazing. Now this one has got a symbol we don't need there, but we do need the symbol down there. Amazing. There's so many symbols you could need. It's so hard to get a symbol that is just useless to you. Now we've got circular economy. Circular economy is one of the best cards in the game. Oh, and we've got pinks on it because and I thought about that. Buffer zones there. I was like, well, this will be a pink track, right? So good. So we're going to run buffer zones 3 more times. Now it is risky to do what I'm about to do, which is just drop your power like crazy. Why? Because it's a bit of a trap to fall into. You think, well, I've got to get rid of the bad thing. But if you do that like I've done here, like we've now got this massive 6-point gap. That is a huge gap. And you want to be careful on doing that because you can get into trouble. You can, and that is one way you can lose because you just end up with so many power problems, you're not going to get away with it. But if you take a risk, you can get around it other ways. Now, I've got this card here. I don't have any bad energy anymore, so I don't need this card. We didn't get anything to feed into this, so we can definitely cover it up. We also don't need this row anymore. That's so good. When you have a row that's occupied, you can put something up in front of it. Boom. And this is sitting at 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't really need this. So now this is where I want to be careful because I would like to bring that population down, but I also want to see if I can get some better cards. I'm going to put, our crisis, by the way, is coming up is using environmental. And we don't have a gap there. We're going to produce now just 4 carbon, and that is going to tick us over 1 point. So we wouldn't mind having a little bit more resilience, but pulling our population down and also pulling our carbon down. That's a double whammy. Circular economy, running it. You always want to try to get rid of a certain type early on. I'm going to try to get rid of cows, because I know there's a crisis that hurts you with cows. Now our gap is only 5. We're going to run some wind power. Probably shouldn't have done that. I did that too early. That was a mistake because it's only once per round. And if I get another wind card, so I'm actually going to undo that. Do that because I might get a wind card. Now, this card is pretty good. It's going to get rid of cars, but guess what? Circular economy will get rid of cars for me. I could speed that up a little bit. However, I need to solve the problem of a lack of emissions. So I'm going to try and get a better card. I'm going to feed this into it. I might not get a card. That's okay. So let me have a look. That gets rid of emissions, but it needs a card. That drives our population up. Too risky. That gives us another way to get cards. That drives our population up. That gives us more cards. Right, so luxury. The only good card we got there for a problem at the moment is probably going to be luxury consumption tax. Draw 2 and keep. Oh, but all it does is give us those cards. That's okay. We can maybe use them as feed cards. Now, that's the thing. If we run this, we might get 0. But what we really want to do is improve our resilience. So I am going to feed this card into there. And I think we'll get... so we've got this one to block a structural. We know we've got an environmental coming up, so I'm going to throw an environmental in like that. And I'm going to run small scale wind. Now, we're going to get 3. That's not great, but we have tax havens, which covers for the loss. So I'm okay with that. As I say, normally you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't run your power down that fast. It's just that the reason I did that was we had a really good card for it because buffer zones was in the exact right position. And once you clear that out, it gave me this column back. In effect, we didn't actually need it, but because I had circular economy that I wanted to get into play, it just made a lot of sense at that point. We're going to have a rough turn, but we're not going to die because we're only going to get 3 more power, 3 more carbon. Unfortunately, that is going to tick us onto 2, but only 3 power over the edge. All right, we had a tipping point. That means we lose a tree. That's bad. Desertification, that's okay. Now, there is obviously a bit of luck in this game. There really is. But there are so many ways to mitigate it. So biodiversity hit us, but we knew it would. We were ready for it. No damage. Capital Strike. Okay, Capital Strike's a tough card. We have to lose a pink card. So we're probably going to lose one of these ones in here. That's just giving us a pink. Let's get rid of dirty energy transition. That's going to make circular economy not as good. Water insecurity hits environmentalism. We're fine. So we're in round 3. And usually, if you're playing well, you win in round 3, maybe round 4. Even in solo. Neither of these projects are really good. This one is really hard to trigger. You need 3 cards under it. They have to be of the right type. And solar radiation management isn't a superb mechanic. It relies a lot on luck. It's okay if one player is really, really going hard into it. But the risk of negative outcomes is really high. If you just roll badly, you can just screw yourself. So I only go for this if that's what the cards are all telling me. That's the thing about this game. You have to be able to pivot. It's a real game about going, what is coming in and need to pivot. This isn't a great thing either. You can basically turn 1 card into a choice of 3. It's okay if another player in the multiplayer game isn't getting the cards you want, or you can't get cards you want, but we've got a better version because we're playing solo. Okay, so what did we get this round? We got net zero buildings, which increases population. Electrification increases population. So we can probably rule those out. Hooray, we've got feed cards. Amazing. Half-elf rewilding is going to give us a lot of environmental resilience. That's okay, but it requires a lot of setup. You need a bunch of green and a bunch of coins. So good card, hard to pull off. Recovery policies, that's a good card, and it's triggered off pink. Now, unfortunately, we don't want to cover up circular economy. And supply chain resilience, also a good card, but also requires pink. So the first thing I think we're going to do is do clean R&D. You always do your research first. Card's going to be hard to use because we've really got population problems at the moment, so we can feed those cards in. What do we get? 5 more cards. Clean energy standards, we don't need that. We could try cloud brightening. Oh, look at this. We got the extra wind symbol. Fantastic. That is exactly what we need. That card. Put it straight behind there. Confirm that. Now we're going to, I don't think we have any other way to get more wind. So we're going to run that, and that's going to bring us back up to 10, 11 power. So all we have to do now is drop our population down. Oh, look, we can do that if we put something behind here. We sure can. Now, what exactly are you going to put around behind there? Good question. That is a good question. So both of these pink cards we kind of want because we pull this back by the number of pink we have, and we'd love to pull this back by the number of pink we have. Tough. It's a bit tricky. So looking around, what else can we do? We could use the Global Relief Fund. We have to tuck a research card into there, and we don't. Oh, we do have one. We do have one. Why don't we do that? We'll tuck that under there, confirm it, and now we can use it. Okay, Strategic Sulfur, again, requires a good roll. Oh, there's a good card. These cards that we draw 9, like they're random, but they're really, really good. This is a good card, but we're having trouble with cards at the moment. If you're in a good position, this card is so good, but you also need lots of research symbols. That's the thing that's hard to read about this card. It only takes 2 cards to turn it on, but then you lose carbon in research. If we had like 4 or 5 research in a stack, we'd go this card. Instead, we're going with nuclear R&D. We don't care that we're not doing nuclear research. We want more cards. More cards equals good. I think I'm going to put this on top of this because they basically do the same thing. They give us more cards, but this one is better. Now I'm going to run this. We got 1 extra card. Does it have pink on it? It doesn't. That's all right. Oh, look, it's a card that we don't need. That's okay. It's a feed card. Amazing. Right. So if we were to put this on top of circular economy, I thought we were at 11. There's a glitch. So we definitely have a problem where we're going to take 2 more things. So I really want to run this. I could run this to get a whole bunch more social resilience. However, I can instead run probably this with this and get 1 point of social resilience, and then try to get our emissions down a bit further with a different way. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this behind there. That gets us back up to 5 symbols. Run that. Get rid of the last cow option. Drop our population down. Now we're only going to get 1 more of those bad things. Now we could keep running circular economy. We sure could. It's a really good card. On the other hand, we'd love to get more cards next time. And you know what we've got? We've got this card here. We've got a beautiful stat of pinks. All it takes is 1 card and we get rid of 6 communities in crisis. And that's the other good thing about this game is that there are lots of ways to solve a problem. Like Oh, no, it's a card each turn. Right, I misread that. That's okay. Instead of resilience, then we will probably pull it down so we get one more card if we're lucky. But there's lots of ways to solve a problem, right? If you have a fuel problem, you might not be able to solve it by getting the fuel, but you may be able to solve it by reducing your communities in crisis, or building up your resilience, or playing off another card down here. So we're ready with our defense system there. We're going to lose a global project thanks to community disregard, commitment disregard. That's okay. We've got one we can lose. So it's under the turn. Now we didn't really move things forward too much there, but we did get some good things into place. We missed energy demand again. Some cards coming off. We're absorbing 9. We're still missing that tree, and we're putting 3 on. And it's not enough to take us over the into 3 bands. Oh, we got Amazon again. Oh, bad luck. Bad luck. Acidification. That's our first acidification. That's good. Only 2 rolls. You see, that's the thing, is because we're just only producing a little bit, we're stealing it on 2. So our only real danger here, the only thing that can really hurt us is purple. We're going to get rid of the Global R&D Fund. That's okay. Air pollution. Hitting us in the structural thing. Yes, we have a multicultural country insurance policy. Lovely. Oil industry negligence. Oh, we lose the infrastructure. We don't have any, which does give us a community in crisis. Yeah, I often miss that rule. Oh, look at this. Look at this beautiful luck. Getting wind technology at scale. Oh, love this card. Like, we had solar. I thought we weren't going to get wind, but now we've got wind technology at scale. All we need is 3 winds. We've got it. Look at this. Absolutely brilliant. We've solved all our power problems. Amazing. We also got a card about solar. Guess what? We don't care about solar. Amazing. That means we can run this. And that drops our population down further. And, sorry, that gets us rid of one of our bad things. We also have another way to get cards. Amazing. Now that we're producing so much wind, we can actually increase our population again. Well. Oh, and this is a good way to get our infrastructure resilience up. Before we do anything first, though, let's get some more cards. Oh, we got 0 on nuclear. That's a bit rough. I'm going to put this one on top of this, I think, because I think... Or do we take the risk of just getting 1? Call. That is a tough call. Getting cards is really good. I'm gonna take a chance and put it in front and just run it now. And we got 1 card. Yeah, average of those is 1, but sometimes it goes up to 3, which is great. We know we've got a bad environmental crisis coming up as well. I should mention that. We got microgrids. Microgrids give us infrastructure benefits, but we have a way to get that over there for cheap. So we can go put that there, confirm, put that on top of it. Oops. Confirm and run that. And all of a sudden we have... Oh, we have to run it. Yep. We'll have 4 resilience in infrastructure. We have 2 resilience in environmental. We'd like to have a little bit more. We have women and girls education, which is such a good card. Now that we've got 4, we're probably not going to hit 4. Hey, what have we got there? An empty column. Yay! Women and girls education. Oh, look at this. Such a good card. We're going to pull that population down further. Now we've got a gap above what we're going to gain each round. Amazing. Now, I'd like to really get rid of that last community in crisis, but we have tax haven. We're still getting 5 cards. And as I said, we now have our population so much in check, we can start expanding it. And we've got electrification initiatives right here. So we're producing 12. We've got 1 on the track, so we're going to get 5. So yeah, we are in a position that you can get into where we have limited ways to get our carbon down. But we can put this card here. That gives us 3, and that'll get rid of something. And yeah, you can get that sort of trouble, right? At the moment, the only way I have to actually get rid of carbon, well, I don't have any, is electrification issues. And unfortunately, I can only run it once at the moment. However, nothing's going to really hurt me this round because this is going to hurt a bit. We're going to lose some trees, yes. But our power needs are way met, really, really met for 2 rounds in a row. Which means we could even use that. That's the thing. We only have to survive. We have to, this is round 4. We could just not produce any more power and have this as an open thing. We'll see. We're going to end the turn there, unfortunately. So yeah, this is a situation like the one you described where it can be tough trying to get rid of those last few emissions or planting some trees. Because, and we've got this, which lets us get rid of some stuff. But we can run it more than once if we get some more. Oh, we lost a wave as well. That's harsh. We can run it more than once if we get a single purple. Oh, also harsh. Straight on the thermometer. Oh, we've tipped over. Oh, we might actually lose. All right. Now, crisis cards. Forest fires is going to give us lose 2 trees and get 2 cubes. Tough. Very tough. This is going to add community in crises because it went up a lot. But does it deforestation? No effect. We got rid of our cows. That's smart playing. And this one, we don't want this to take effect, so we're going to use our multicultural country insurance pool. Right. Going in now to turn 5. So we're in a little bit of try. Because we've lost those trees, we only have 5 absorbance, and we're back to producing 11. So, bit of a crisis. We're not going to switch to nuclear, but we're probably going to roll a bunch of rolls. So let's take agricultural best practices. Don't really need to prime it much because we're really wanting to get that carbon down. So let's have a look at what we've got. Vertical farming, great way to get rid of emissions. Can run it once per tree. Another way to get cards, brilliant, excellent. A feed card. We don't really need clean energy R&D, but we sure as hell would love to have another one of those so that we can get rid of cars. Well, we have 1 house left. Hang on a sec. We'll have to think about that. Might be worth getting rid of the house first. This one, vertical farming, also gets rid of cows, so we definitely need 4 coins. Do we have 4 coins anywhere? Not even. That makes that a feed card, Steve. All right. So yeah, I think I'm going to cancel that. I think I'm going to run this solely to get rid of houses, just in case we get a house card. So our goal now is to get our emissions down a long way. We can make power. That's a simple gimme. That'll give us power. We're way over again. We can run girls' education. It's a 1, pulls us down. At this point, reducing our population is not the priority. We can get it. We can go away and leave it alone. We could run this once, and given that we don't have the coins to run vertical farming, we could put vertical farming there though. Except we need 4. We would need 4, and we just don't have 4. Let's get some more cards first, though. Let's run nuclear R&D. We got 3 cards. Amazing. Oh, and we got a green investment bank. A source of cards. Yeah, that's pretty good. We need to get it to 5 to get more. But if we put this behind nuclear R&D, and then we run, that's only going to give us 3. But we've got climate monitoring as well. Climate monitoring isn't bad for us at this point, but, well, actually, we don't have to choose. That's the thing. We can put climate monitoring there. we can run it and get say an environment. Oh, so we're about to get hit with soil degradation, which we could stop with vertical farming. Yep, that's true. But what we might do instead. So yeah, let's put vertical farming under soil degradation. That'll stop that from happening. Our gap is social, so let's see if we can fix that. We'll run this. We'll get a social resilience. And we'll flip the new one, which is oil industry. It just loses us an entire social resilience, and we can't stop it. Not yet, but we have options. Okay, we have lots of ways to get cards, in fact. Let's think about where we want to put this, where it lets us draw 8. I don't think we want girls' education that much anymore. I'm going to put this here and run geoengineering R&D. Oh, 2 more cards. Excellent. And we got a research one, and we got another with the research symbol. Not really much we need there. That's okay. We've got cards we can feed into this. So let's throw clean energy R&D into recovery policies. Loses a community in crisis. This little chappy has, and that will give us 1, 2, 3 more social environmental resilience. That's good. So back to the problem at hand. We are producing 10. There are 4 on the track. That is not good. So how do we get those emissions down? Well, we've already run that. That's true. We need some better cards. What we need to do is, now I'm going to really look for some cards. I'm going to put this here. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to get 2 more cards. And we got direct air capture. That's not a bad card. That's not a bad card. We can do it as many times as we have spare cards for. That's not bad. That's not bad. Do we want community wealth? We could probably put it here, and we would have 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that makes sense. We'll put that there. We'll run community wealth and see what we get. All right. We've got some onshore wind. That's nice. And this is why we shouldn't have run wind power first, but that's not the issue right now. Fertilizer efficiency. We've got rid of all our cows. Hey, you know where that can go, though? That can go behind there. Brilliant. Now we can run this again. Oh, there's no end. Hang on. 1, 2, 3. Oh, right. We need to have something else behind it that has a cord on it, like this nuclear power that we don't need. That gives us 1, 2, 3, 4. That will get rid of our car energy. Right. Run that. Boom. Now, universal healthcare would give us really good shielding. Might be worth running. This one I want to run, though, I think, because that's what we need that capture to come down. So I'm going to take. If we put universal healthcare requires 3 coins, so that's probably not something we can get off. So what I'm going to do with it is put it behind electrification initiatives, run it. Emissions going up, doesn't matter. Emissions down to 8. That's good. Now we're not trying to fight the last round. That was definitely bad luck. But now we have an issue. We could put this under there, but we're producing 5 wind a turn. We don't actually need another wind symbol. We could use that to power that up and get rid of factories, yes, but I think long term, what we probably want to do instead. Oh, okay, this is a tough choice. This is round 5, so we really don't want to think about whether we lose that card generation thing, but I think we want to get as much carbon sucked up as we can. I'm going to run direct air capture. I'm going to feed both of these cards into it. Although cloud brightening is pretty good, because if we get either of those rolled, we will get things added to the temperature. All right. Well, I'm going to run it once with onshore wind. Increase that energy demand. And now we are absorbing. We're normally sequestering 7, and we're normally producing 8. If I run that again, we're at 0, which means all we have to do is get 1 less next time, which we can do with electrification initiatives. So I do think, though, maybe I should put this in place just in case, because if we get okay, no, the one we don't want is thawing permafrost. So I'm going to put thawing permafrost over and then that gives us a bit of insurance. So we're going to get a bit of Copenova. It is a net of 6, which means we are going into 5 bands. Not great. Oh, we lost another tree. Ah, oh, damn it. Now we have to run that several times. Desertification. That was a bad roll. Bad roll. All right, we didn't get the thawing permafrost. Soil degradation is fine. Oil industry collusion. We lose a social resilience. We have to lose a card that has a energy symbol on it. So that will take us back to losing houses. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, which we don't want to happen. But we don't need any of these ones here, so we'll get rid of this nuclear one. Oh, man, healthcare crisis. We did not need that. That's going to be 4 communities in crisis. Whew. Bad luck. Bad luck, bad luck. All right, well, we don't need fossil fuel resources declared stranded. It's absolutely going to be the force. This is a tough choice. I think I'm going to get rid of agricultural best practices, because we're probably going to hit that, and we're really running high on community crises. So we need drawdown. We are producing 8 and 1 on the track. We are sequestering only 4. That's rough. So what can we do? Well, we have enough power for our needs, so we can draw some more cards. That's what we can do. We'll start with that. Oh, Solar R&D. That's a nice card. Ready to get us more cards. We can put that there. Whoops. And run it again. Get some more cards. Got 1. And it's a adaptation program. Lets us get rid of a face-up card. Ooh, crisis card. That's not bad. And it requires 4 pinks, and we have a lovely pink strain up there. So we're going to put it into play straight away. Get rid of that. Oh, it requires a card. Oopsie. Hang on a sec. I didn't read that properly. Well, we can get rid of this nuclear. No, we can't. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we can get rid of this nuclear card, I think. Get rid of fossil fuel subsidies. All right, now let's have a think. We can definitely produce enough power. That's easy. We could even do a bit more power if we use that card, but we're getting 5 a turn. We're fine. 1, 2. We're on 4 of this, and we can run it 3 times. It's currently looking at cars. If we gave it 1, no, it needs 2 more, doesn't it? Oh, but we have 2 that we could put behind it to tackle industry. That's the beauty of this. This is a nice flexible card. That got rid of our cars. If we put those 2 cards behind it, we can get rid of industry twice, which will get us down to 6. Not quite there, are we? All right, I think I'm going to put this here, and that'll give us a whole bunch of extra cards. And lots and lots of lovely cards to fuel into things. Excellent. Okay. So, Citizens Assembly. That's a nice card to get at this point. So, yeah. Let's put Citizens Assembly on top of Community Wealth. Let's run it 3 times. Citizens Assembling. All right. So now we have 3, 3, and we have 5 lines. That's pretty good. That should keep us alive. This won't do anything now because all our car emissions are gone. So I'm going to put hydrogen power facilities behind there. Switch to hydrogen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We still need 1 more. Put offshore wind behind there. Now we can run it 2 more times. Okay, so now we're producing 5. There's 1 on the track. And we're sequestering 4. Tough. All right, so I think what we do now is we put in 3 more capture. That has to be the only way we can do it, really. Didn't get any of those lovely that help us make plants. We lost a lot of plants. Okay, so now we're at net carbon 1. Run this. Net carbon 0. And our population's caught up to us. It's going to be close. And this one, net carbon -2. Very nice. So that will mean we'll be only rolling the dice 4 times. And we have 3 cards to live through. We should be okay. We've got a lot of protection, and it will only have 4 things on the map. So we only should get hit a little bit. We might lose here. And yeah, you can get into that situation. Drawdown pulls us down to 3 bands. Hooray! Thawing permafrost rolled. No problem. Fish. No problem. Weather. No problem. Fish. We lose an ocean. That's okay. We've already hit Project Drawdown. It goes on the temperature band. Ooh, okay. That could kill us. That could kill us. All right. So we lose. We're back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get to take 1 card off. It's going to be Citizens Assemblies, I guess. That'll be okay. We just lose those. Water pollution. We take 1 more one more thing. Fossil fuel sabotage has no effect because our pot passes, and that's it. We won. So that was actually a game where I took a very big risk of knocking my power down, which I do sometimes. It's generally not a good idea because it does make you vulnerable, and it makes you. And when you're vulnerable, you're more vulnerable to to those kind of things. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that game. I hope it gives you some tips for play. And I'm always up to play a multiplayer game. If anyone else wants to play Daybreak, I love it. Chat ya.